Today I'm going to show you how to build this simple yet gorgeous wisteria covered cottage in your Minecraft world. As it's a fairly small build, this house doesn't use up a lot of space, but it is super cozy and would make a great place for your character to spend their days. Let's look at what materials we'll be using and the measurements for the build. You can build this cottage wherever you like, but I'd advise choosing a space in the forest and on a slight incline so you can try to copy the garden if you like how mine looks. Here's a quick list of all of the shaders and packs that I use in this build, but you can find a list of all of my installed ones in the description below. To start, let's grab our white terracotta blocks and place them in a row on one side of the house. Any blocked mark with a log has a glass pane on top for a window. We're going to keep building up the wall until it's 3 blocks high. We're now adding onto the wall again, but we're leaving the end blocks free to start creating the slope for the roof. Repeat that for each row until you're left with just 1 block at the top, making sure to leave space for a window. The first wall is completed already, so move across to the opposite side and do exactly the same. Build the bottom part of the wall to be 3 blocks tall. Create your incline by missing off the 2 end blocks on each row until there's only 1 single block left. The front and the back walls are just as easy. Starting with the back, build your wall to be 3 blocks high, creating a 3x2 window on the far left side. Repeat this for the opposing wall, but adding in space for a door. Staying at the front of the house, let's begin making our roof. In between the door and the ground floor window, we want to build a 2x2 window. On either side of this window, add a terracotta block and lay down a black stone stair on top, facing towards the glass. Add another 2 stairs above the window to start crafting the top of the roof. We're then bringing this portion of the roof out by 1 to make the overhang. To make this window nice and snug, you can place 2 downturned stair blocks in front of the glass. It just makes it feel a bit more like a classic English cottage. With the first part of the roof done, let's take our stairs and create a row of them above the door like I'm doing here. Make sure to create the overhang on each side so your build doesn't end up looking boxy. In front of the window, take your slabs and place them on the outside panes. Now use your stairs to carry on the other side. Place your stairs on top of the terracotta wall and do this over the window section as well, but add a slab in front of the middle stair to shape the roof around the window. Carry on placing stairs on the other side of the wall. For the next 2 rows of the roof, we'll lay down our stair blocks in a straight row, joining them to the section above this top window. After that, we have one more row of stairs left on this side, and this is so easy as it's just a straight line. Now to create the peak of the roof, we're gathering our slabs again and just doing another straight row along the top. And already we're almost done on the shell of the house. We now just need to copy what we've just done, but on the back of the house. Create your 2x2 window in the same place as before and add your stair slabs on top and in front of the glass. I didn't realise how close the trees were to the back of this house when I was building this, so it's a little bit more difficult to see, but go in with your stairs and create the overhang again on the front of the wall. Now follow what we did previously to finish the roof. So this consists of straight rows of stair blocks, ensuring that you connect them to the portion above the window. With that done, let's now use our downturned stairs on the underside of the overhang. You only need to do this for the side walls, so don't do this on the front or the back. We're going to create a chimney now, and before you add this into your build, please do note that these brick blocks will be visible on the ceiling inside the house, so only proceed if you're okay with that. I've placed this in line with the middle and right panes on the ground floor window. Make a 3x2 hole in the roof, and with your brick blocks, fill the space in and make them 2 blocks tall. Grab your brick walls and place one on each block of the chimney to finish it off. Okay, the shell of the house is finally done. Let's head inside quickly before we start on the outside to lay down some flooring and create an upstairs room. We're going to replace the current grassy floor with dark oak planks first. On the back wall, we want to add 2 down-facing black stone stairs. On the opposite wall above the door, place 3 stair blocks. We have one less on one wall just to allow for the staircase. Now follow what I do here to create a small upstairs space and staircase using downturned oak stairs, slabs and a dark oak block. This is a really tiny little room up here, but I do think it adds to the coziness in the house. And in older cottages in the UK, you do see a lot of low ceilings, so I feel like it's only fitting. If you wanted more space, you could just use a ladder, but this staircase helps to also separate the downstairs into almost 2 rooms, rather than it just being open plan. If you want to add a banister to the upstairs, you can use jungle trapdoors like I'm doing here. If I was decorating the inside, I'd use Ghoulcraft stair railings and join them together to make it look a little more realistic. With the inside done, we want to spruce up the outside a bit. So with jungle leaf blocks ready, start dotting them around to make it look a little overgrown. I use the Better Leaves pack to give my leaf blocks more of a natural bushy look compared to the default in-game ones. I like to add some blocks here and there and then step away to see how it looks. For example, do I need to add more to the left side of the build, or does it look too much of that many leaves by the door? Placing the leaves is really fun, as you can make the builds look so different depending on how many you decide to add. I've gone slightly busier for this build as it feeds into the illusion that it's a little cottage nestled in the woods. Go round to all sides of your house now and add leaves as you see fit. Now let's move on to our wisteria. I'm using the ones from the CIT pack called Garden Breeze, and I'm just popping these sparsely on the roof and on the walls. Once again, go around your build and place your wisteria where looks good to you. So before we start our patio, I just want to say that you don't have to copy the garden to a T. You can change the way the garden looks and how it's laid out depending on your world. You may have more or less garden space than I do here, so get creative and use the current world layout to your advantage. Let's get on with the rest of the build. With your stone brick blocks equipped, begin placing down your blocks by the front of this house to start making a little patio. Using a mix of mossy and normal blocks helps to add detail to the build, and it fits perfectly for this type of house as it looks a bit more natural, like grass is trying to peek through the bricks. One thing about building in Minecraft is that you don't have to get things right on the first try. As you'll see in the rest of this video, I make a lot of changes and add new blocks here and there, or decide I might want to remove part of the patio or the flower beds. Just have fun with it and see what feels right. I work with the shape of the garden here, and with stone brick stairs, I gently create a layered patio to make the space a little more interesting. Surrounding the patio, let's dig up some flower beds and fill them in with coarse dirt. You could also mix in some moss blocks too. That always looks good, and it's actually something that I like to do often, but for some reason I haven't done it here. Remember, the lines of the beds don't need to be straight. It actually looks more natural if they're a little messy. Using different leaves to the ones on your roof, plant them towards the centre of the flower beds to make them look more full. Take your flowers of choice now, along with a mix of tall and normal grasses and ferns, and dot them around the beds to fill them in. I've mentioned it a couple of times before, but when working with flower beds, a really good way to make them look good is to have your smaller plants at the front and the sides of the bed, and then as you get closer to the back, use the taller grasses and ferns to add height. I also make sure to only choose around 3 to 5 different flowers and colours per build, unless you want a garden that looks wild, which I've actually done for my recent fairy cottage video. But for this house, I'm using light and dark purples to mirror the wisteria on the house, and then coming in with some pops of white to balance it out. When you're happy with how your beds look, grab some more of the leaves that you've just used. We're going to use them as bushes to section off the garden from the rest of the world. Your house can be accessed from different directions, for example from the back of the house or from the side. Use a shovel or dirt paths to make some walkways. You can enter this house from the back, so I've made a small path leading down the side which actually joins up with a main path in my world. While I was down there, I added some bushes and a sprinkling of flowers against the side wall. This house is built by the river in my world, so as you see here, I make 2 more paths, both leading down to the water, but from different directions of the garden. This makes for a really interesting walk for your player as they're exploring their nearby surroundings. Once again, if you have any areas of the build that you don't want included in the garden, place down more bushes to create that divide. Like I do here, if you've got layering or hills around your cottage, add some flowers in between the leaf blocks for more interest. I'm not adding loads of CITs to this garden. I want it to look intentionally very simple and natural, but I definitely have some go-to items that I use in a lot of my builds. Big pot, log stool, and mini plant pots that you see here are all from the Mizuno 16 CIT pack. These add smaller details, but they're still noticeable and look good when paired in a group. I use this pair of plant pots multiple times across the majority of my builds, though I do sit them at different angles or mix them in with other pots or decor if I don't want it to look like I've reused the same CIT too many times. In this small section here, I'm going to craft a workbench from Ghoulcraft. Put some trapdoors underneath so you can actually place things on the tabletop. You'll have to crouch to place the item frame on the trapdoor, else it will collapse and you won't be able to put things on it. To decorate this bench, I've used CITs from Mizuno's and Ghoulcraft. If you're wanting to fill space, but still want the decor to look low-key, create a 2x1 table using upside down stair blocks. You can leave it bare or add a tablecloth like I've done, which I think is from Hananacraft, and put some Mizuno's log stools around it with a food or drink item to decorate. The last part of the garden is adding some fairy lights, which is a must for a cute cottage. These are also from Mizuno's and they look great on the front of the house and hanging from trees. So that's the end of the video. I hope it was an easy build to follow and that you've taken some ideas away on how to create your own garden if you didn't want to follow this one exactly. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to let me know you're enjoying my content, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching!